Welcome to Hash Vlog. Make yourself at home. Welcome to Hash Vlog on your PC, TV, or phone.
Luffy ended up coming back last night, like right as I was uploading the YouTube video. Dude, he's been pooping so much. Sorry to show that. He came back super late last night, and he was acting really weird. Like first he had like the zoomies runny energy thing. Then he came in then he wouldn't respond to me. He was just sitting there staring at me. Then when he came in the house, he like peed all over the floor, which he's never done before ever. It was like super weird. So I don't know, I let him back out for a second, and then eventually he came in, had him calm down a bit. He was just acting like really, really weird. Like even when I gave him a snack, he was eating funny and weird. Eventually he laid down, went to sleep and chilled. But now that I see him, he's been just pooping a ton. I poked, because I was like, what's going on with this? I poked in, because, you know, we gotta do some detective work. There's a bunch of, like, random, like, eggshells and just, like, weird, like, I think he found a compost pile next door, bottom line, and ate just a ton of it, and got, like, rather sick last night, because I don't know what's in there, and if it's just too much food, or if it's just something you shouldn't be eating or whatever. So, has to be outer space today. Just had him on leash, because don't want him to get over there, and he's been looking like he wants to run back over there again, but definitely need to go to town and get some supplies so we can spoil him and keep him around so he's not tempted to go eat whatever the hell that shit is over there. Kind of an interesting little mystery adventure we've had. All of that being said, we had an absolutely lovely space today with the artists for the mixtape. It was like 3 hours and a little change. We had both Duo Do perform and Javier Galan performing live in the space, which was amazing. It was great getting to know and find more artists that were, especially after hearing their music and liking it and being like, hey, let's put this on the mixtape, just hear the people behind it and hear their stories. There goes Luffy. And the things behind the art. It's really, really cool. Really cool to connect with people, and people were just stoked to be seen and to have a conversation and to connect some musicians in the space and just feel the energy. I'll show some of the metrics later. I think it was like a pretty good amount of people tuned in and all that stuff, but it's cool. It felt really good for like a random idea we had like 10 days ago. It was probably one of the vlogs. So I'm gonna start a mixtape, and like here we are now. First mixtape released. Felt really fucking awesome. So excited to just kind of curate and help shine a light on some more of the music in the space and just see where we can go with this. What's up, Stinky? I think we're gonna do another walk later. This is just like a mini walk between the day because I'm trying to keep Luffy more on a leash, more tied down, so let him get his yayas out a bit and enjoy the lovely natural day we got. Something kind of funny, I know I've mentioned before wanting to visit Bosque Gracias out there in Argentina. It seems like half the freaking musicians from the mixtape, I knew a couple or a few of them were from Argentina, but it seemed like half of them were from Argentina or nearby or Mexico. And it's like, man, I need to get out there and bring our random cumbia covers and hang out in Argentina and vibe. Seems like the thing to do at some point. Not too soon. Not too far off. Sooner than later. There you go. Those are words. Classic socks and Crocs flip-flops. Wow, that all rhymed. Combo. Whew. Second walk of the day, and it is still warm enough to be sweating, even though it's like, what, 6:30, something around there. Dang, this just snuck up on me. First sweet pea bloom. So pretty. Popping up out of the bush. You know what I find interesting? Look at these sage flowers, right? And then right above it, the Yerba Santa flowers. They're like the same shape and color just about. And I was noticing over by the sweet peas, They're next to the purple flowers that have like a very similar shape and hue. Kind of a flowers of a petal flock together kind of thing, you know what I mean? Interesting. You know what, speaking of that, I feel like it's a good reflection on the space today and how, like, usually if I say we had a good Twitter space, it's like good for a Twitter space. I don't usually like being a host and having to like run stuff. This thing ended up going for 3 hours and I enjoyed like every minute of it. It was super lovely. I think it was Gino, when he was up as a speaker, who's on the mixtape, mentioned Audio Engineering Society, which I just like a few days ago on the vlog was wearing my orange volunteer shirt because I was a member of the AES chapter at San Francisco State where I went to school, and we volunteered, and then I was able to sit in on a bunch of like super cool panels. So I was just like, wait, did you just mention AES? He's like, yeah. I was like, yeah, I see you. But yeah, it was just super cool to meet a bunch of artists and to realize just how important acknowledgement can be in a space where, you know, people can, I'm not saying everyone there feels unseen. I don't know how they feel, but I know generally speaking, music isn't the most acknowledged kind of within the Tezos ecosystem amongst the other arts. I mean, don't get me wrong, there's definitely moments and certain artists and all that, but just cool to see what just a little bit of like an idea that we had like 10 days ago, just randomly in a space, manifesting into something like this big already. And just like not even necessarily big. I mean, we had some pretty good numbers, don't get me wrong, but just big because it just felt good. It felt right, you know. It was, as I'm struggling financially and not very wealthy in that way, I realized like I am rich in a lot of ways that really do matter to me, and I need to get better at being rich in the ways that matter to stores and other people more. But, you know, really just today being about being super grateful for the connections we're making and just, I don't know, like the honor it is to connect and shepherd musicians together to speak about just ourselves and our weird musical processes. And great space, great day.
Thanks for watching my vlog. Watch another or subscribe here.